Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. I'm very happy with all the positive feedback on my last video where I started contracting the 3 internal styles. It's very good to know that many of you like this format. Learning the differences among the internal styles with respect to individual aspects will go a long way in terms of understanding the styles. That's why I plan to continue with this format for the next few videos. In each video, I will pick a topic and explain it in the context of each internal style, with special focus on the differences. I prefer to call it the system contract method. I hope you all find this approach useful. Do let me know in the comments if you would like any modifications to this approach. Similar to my prior videos, I will introduce the cultural, historical, philosophical, and practical background related to each topic. Today's topic is Zhong Pan and its significance in the internal styles. Before we talk about the Zhong Pan, we should first talk about the concept of Sanpan. So, topics covered in today's video include: first, Sanpan, origin and significance. Second, Sanpan in martial arts. 3. Zhongpan in 3 internal styles. 4th, demonstration. 5th, takeaways. So, let's get started. Topic 1. Sanpan, origin and significance. I introduced what Yi Jing, or the Book of Changes, is in my prior video. Also, I mentioned that one of Yi Jing's applications is astrology. Whatever your personal feelings toward astrology, it may be worth spending a few minutes on this section to get a historical context of Yi Jing usage. I have no personal or emotional investment in astrology myself. Anyway, let's continue. There are different types of Chinese astrology systems in its history. One of the most well-respected systems is called Ziwei Dou Shu, or purple star astrology. In this term, Zi means purple, and Wei means rose. So Ziwei means purple as a rose, which is related to spiritual aspiration. However, in Chinese astrology, Ziwei implies the North Star. The North Star is considered the most prominent star because it is related to authority and power. Dou is the Big Dipper, a prominent asterism that is approximately aligned with the Earth's axis of rotation. Shu here means calculation or method. In total, Ziwei Dou Shu is an ancient system that was used for fortune tellings. It's said to have more than 1,000 years of history. The most popular and important document was published by Zhang Guoxiang, the 5th generation of the celestial Taoist masters. In the ancient times, this method was only allowed to be practiced in the imperial emperor's palace. The general public was allowed to practice it starting only about 100 years ago. Nowadays, it is a popular practice in mainland China, Taiwan, Hong Kong, and other areas where there is a sizable population of Chinese residents. In the Ziwei Dou Shu system, people use a method called Sanpan, or 3 charts, to indicate heaven, human, and the earth. These terms, including heaven chart, human chart, and earth chart, have been created in this system. Around 300 years ago, some people in the martial art community started using the term Sanpan to describe three areas of the human body. They are Shang Pan, or upper area, upper body or area about diaphragms, Zhong Pan, or middle area, stomach, waist, and hips, and Xia Pan, lower area, which is legs and feet. In the context of martial art, Shang Pan means hand techniques, Zhong Pan means body movement, and Xia Pan means leg techniques. To summarize this topic, Sanpan, a term originally from Chinese astrology, has been adapted by the martial art community for centuries to describe three areas in the human body. When you read some old Chinese martial art books, you may encounter this term. From now on, you will understand this meaning. Topic 2. Sanpan purpose and practice in martial art. Yes, this term was used to describe martial art practice related concepts, and it should have a specific purpose in Chinese system. So let's talk about the overall requirements of Sanpan in practice. The Chinese martial art community generally agree on this aspect of Sanpan. Shangpan, upper area, practice should be fast and powerful. Zhongpan, middle area, practice should be flexible, and Xiapan, or lower area, practice should be stable and strong. Some styles may focus and emphasize more on areas than others. For example, southern styles of Chinese martial art pay more attention to the training and application of the upper area. Ditang, or a ground fighting style, use the leg as its main weapon, which naturally focuses more on Xiapan, or lower area training. But overall, in most Chinese martial art styles, Xiapan stability and strength is the basic requirements. In this video, I will focus on the practice principles used in internal styles for the Zhongpan, or the middle area. Why Zhongpan first? Simple. Zhongpan area is traditionally considered the source of power, including the dantian. By the way, dantian is a very important term in many Chinese practice. I have talked about the dantian in an earlier video. Link is in the description. I recommend you check that one out first and then resume this video. So let's focus on the Zhongpan and elaborate some key principles of this part. Topic 3. Zhongpan practice in 3 internal styles. Zhongpan includes the stomach, waist, and hips. Internal styles pay special attention to this area. However, one needs to know the standards for correct practice to evaluate one's progress. The internal styles may often use similar terminologies, but their practice principles, however, are not the same. The early stage of practice for each style may have similarities in terms of structure, focus, and even basic movement. However, at a higher level, Zhongpan practice principles vary among the 3 styles. In other words, to reach a high level, one should know the differences in Zhongpan practice in each internal style. I teach Zhongpan principles starting with 3 proverbs. I will provide the Mandarin version first, followed by the English translation. Those proverbs are: 形意要紧，八卦要松，太极要活。In English, first, 形意中盘 is tight. Second, 八卦中盘 is relaxed. Third, Tai Chi 中盘 is flexible. Let me elaborate them one by one. First, 形意中盘 is tight. A typical xingyi stance, such as the Santi stand, may not look relaxed. compared to the other internal styles. That's because of the unique body structure of Xing Yi. Especially in Hebei style, we call it 龙折身 or dragon turning the body in English. This kind of body structure is more obvious in Hebei style Xing Yi, such as Xuedian branch and the Shangyunxiang branch. We can observe this by watching these two photos. The first one is Xuedian himself, and the other one is Li Wenbin, one of the disciples of Shangyunxiang, who created a popular branch in Hebei style Xing Yi. Shangyunxiang was a disciple of Li Cunyi. These two styles share the same approach in upper body turning motion. Of course, there are different types of turning between these two styles, but they all try to make the upper body tight or tense. Some other branches of Xing Yi, such as Sun Lu Tang and Guo Yunshen, share the same approach, even though it is not that obvious since they turn the hips more than their waist. Like I said in my previous Xing Yi video, that in Xing Yi practice, the upper body should turn at a certain angle depending on the movements. As a result, the hips and the shoulder should not be in the same vertical plane. That is the correct way to practice 龙折身 or dragon turning the body. This kind of body structure makes the Xing Yi Zhong Pan or middle area of Xing Yi body tense and tight. That is the source of Xing Yi power. The power lies in the turning motion and the tension created by the body turning. So, I identified this practice in Xing Yi and made it as one of the general principles of Xing Yi body structure. You might get the impression that this type of body structure is not relaxed. Well, in Xing Yi, the term relaxed means balanced, meaning that as long as different part of the body maintains the same level of strength in a position in a posture, it will be considered relaxed if the tension is not extreme. Xing Yi's relaxation depends on structural balance, not on the relaxation of individual muscles. It may sound counterintuitive in the beginning, but over time and regular practice, the meaning will become clear. Its unique body turning motion makes the Xing Yi upper body tight. As a result, Zhong Pan, which is the main area creating the turn, naturally becomes tight. This is why I say that Xing Yi Zhong Pan should be tight. Second, Ba Gua Zhong Pan is relaxed. In contracting Xing Yi and the Ba Gua stance, many people may think that Ba Gua Zhong Pan or middle area should be tight or tense, because our body is in a turning position. When the body turns, it is seen that naturally the middle area should be tensed. If someone thinks like this, actually it is incorrect, because any turning will create tension, and this tension will make the middle area tighter than other postures. Let me explain the reason. Let's take Qing Long Tan Zhua, or Black Dragon Extending Claws, an iconic posture, as an example to explain the theory. Like most Ba Gua posture, the back hand should point toward the front elbow. In other words, there is a coordination between the front elbow and the back hand, which approximately creates a circle considering of one's back and the two arms. This circle structure makes one's back tight. Furthermore, since Ba Gua involves regular coordination between the front elbow with the back hand, there is almost an invisible circle that the upper back and the arms create. So, most of the time, the upper back is tight in most Ba Gua postures compared to the chest. This style of bagua structure, which is tight on the upper back, called the invisible circle, requires one's lower back and the waist to be relaxed. Otherwise, if both of the upper back and the lower back are tight, then the body will lack flexibility, which will hinder power generation in self-defense situations. Also, bagua as a style mainly uses the palm to issue power and force, which really emphasizes a horizontal force at approximately chest or diaphragm level. In addition, the body turns at a certain angle, resulting in a typical bagua body. Force is initiated by the lower back, but executed by the upper back when hands move in the horizontal plane, especially at the diaphragm level. Please try a movement by yourself. Try to issue force from your palm when your body is turned at an angle. If your Zhong Pan of the middle area is not relaxed, then the power generation will be hindered. Also, when your upper back is in a soft state and your Zhong Pan area is tight, then you will not be able to transfer power to your hand. I suggest you pause this video and give it a quick try and let me know if you see what I mean. To be clear, that theory is not my own creation. I learned this from my teachers when I was a child. What I'm doing now is just a knowledge transferred in English. To summarize Bagua Zhongpan, relax your middle area in Bagua training. Not only will your Bagua power generation improve, but your Bagua posture will also look better. I guarantee it. 3. Tai Chi Zhongpan is flexible. Your first response on hearing this might be, of course, it is Tai Chi. You have to be relaxed. But pay attention here. I'm not talking about relaxation. I'm talking about flexibility. There's a difference. Relaxation is the state of our muscles and body structure, but flexibility is the result of a practice which includes relaxation. In the interest of time, I will not talk about relaxation in Tai Chi practice in today's video, since it is a big topic and merits its own video. Today, I will only focus on flexibility. So, what does a flexible Zhongpan entail? My definition of a flexible Zhongpan is that the waist and the hips can make a small vertical circular movements. This isn't well known in the community because most of Tai Chi practitioners do not focus on it. That's why I'm trying to emphasize the importance of flexibility is in the Zhongpan area. And flexible Zhongpan will let you generate much more power by creating a vertical circular movement. This circular movement is very subtle, but also very important. I will talk more about it in a future video. To summarize, Tai Chi Zhongpan should be flexible enough to allow a small vertical circular movement in practice. Topic 4. Demonstration. Today, I'd like to demonstrate the 3 important principles of the 3 internal styles. The Xingyi body structure should have a tight feeling in the Zhongpan area, should have a tight or tense feeling. Let me take 2 or 3 examples to demonstrate this. First one, for example, we take the Santi stance. If you can stand like this, that's fine, but should be tense this. If you practice the Bengquan, instead of like this, should tense. When you practice the earth, the hang, instead of just like this, should be this. Tense here. That's the Xing Yi principle. To Ba Gua, if we take the Qing Long Tan Zhua, this posture as example, okay, as example, this area should be tight, here should be flexible, so that when you move in the future, then we'll be able to generate force and power. So this area should relax, but this area have a strength. Okay. To Tai Chi, we should focus at the flexibility of this area to have a small vertical circle. I show you example. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this kind of small circular movement is the key in Tai Chi practice. Topic 5. Takeaways. This video is not that long, but many important topics have been introduced. Sanpan, one of the applications of Yi Jin, was first used in Chinese astrology and later adapted by the martial art community to describe certain key principles. Zhong Pan is the key area in all the 3 internal styles, which is related to force, power, and structure. Zhong Pan serves different purpose in each style and should thus be trained differently in each style. Zhong Pan requirements and principles for Xing Yi, Ba Gua, and Tai Chi have been introduced for a better understanding of this topic. Thank you for watching, see you next time, and enjoy your practice.